Hi everyone, welcome to Gallant IAS. Let's go 120 plus. Here we discuss two model questions for your upcoming Prelims 2021. Today's question is from economy. With reference to external debt of India, consider the following statement. So the question is regarding external debt of the country. India's sovereign external debt as percentage of GDP stood at around 9% in 2020. Second statement, more than half of India's sovereign external debt, external foreign currency denominated debt was over to multilateral and international monetary fund. In July 2021, India's total external debt, sovereign and non-sovereign, exceeded India's foreign forex reserves. Which of the statements given above is correct? And the options are given. So what is this external debt? Country's total debt that is owing to outside the country. Okay, if India any debt from our country owing external to our country, like debt from UK, US, or any European countries or African countries, any of the Asian countries like Japan, China, whatever. Not only just to the countries or the sovereign governments, it also includes debt to multilateral agencies and banks residing outside our country. Okay. And it is not only the debt of the government of India, it also includes sovereign and non-sovereign external debt. Sovereign external debt is the debt taken by the government of India. Okay, debt taken by the government of India from outside country. Non-sovereign debt taken by the parties other than the government of India from outside country. Okay, and the thing is that most of the India's sovereign debt is not from outside world, it's from inside our market. Okay, Indian government is mostly borrowing from within our country. So sovereign debt of our country is very small comparing with the GDP. It's less than 3%. When sovereign debt is compared with the GDP, is less than 3% of the GDP size. Okay, and majority portion of India's sovereign debt, India's external debt is owed by non-sovereign parties, non-governmental parties like companies, firms, and the households, etc. Okay, so India's sovereign debt is very small. Look at the statement. India's sovereign external debt as percentage of GDP stood at around 9% in 2020. It's absolutely wrong. Sovereign debt, external debt taken by the government, and that is below 3% of GDP. If you know that first statement is wrong, then you can eliminate option C and D, which include the first statement. So you remain with A and B. Use elimination method. Okay, then second statement, more than half of India's sovereign external foreign currency denominated debt was over to multilaterals and international monetary fund. Yes, that is correct. More than half of the India's all sovereign external debt is not to the countries, it's to the multilateral agencies like ADB, IMF, World Bank, etc. Okay, India is not owing so much to countries like US, Switzerland, UK, Japan. Okay, most of the India's sovereign debt is to multilateral agencies. Second statement is correct. Then, just read the third statement. In July 2021, India's external debt, total external debt, sovereign and non-sovereign exceeds India's forex reserves. That is wrong. In July 2021, India's forex reserve is higher than India's total external debt. Okay, this question is from economic survey. Okay, in economic survey, there is data of India's external debt and forex reserves. And in last month, India's forex reserve increased to around $634 billion. Okay, and India's external debt is below $600 billion. Actually, in July and last January 2021, India's forex reserves exceeded India's total external debt. Okay, so the third statement is wrong. So the answer is option B, 2 only. Then look at the next question. With reference to fiscal policies adopted by the government, consider the following statements. In a pro-cyclical fiscal policy, government reduces public spending or increases during expansionary times. In counter-cyclical fiscal policy, government increases public spending or reduces taxes during recession. Counter-cyclical fiscal policy decreases fluctuations in the business cycle. Which of the statements given above is correct? So the question is asking for correct statement. What is pro-cyclical fiscal policy and counter-cyclical fiscal policy? What are the difference between them? Pro-cyclical fiscal policy, as you know, the business cycle, that is boom, recession, depression, recovery and boom. So economy is going through a cycle. When there is recession happen, there will be decreased demand for goods and services and decreased supply because of decreased production, and decreased expenditure and investment happens in the economy. So economy will be weaker in boom time. In recession time. At that time, what government do? Government act opposite to the economic circumstances. That means there is decreased production, decreased investment, decreased consumption. Then what government do? Government demand goods and services more, and government spend too much money in the economy, and government invest money in the economy to induce business activities, economic activities in the economy, and reduces taxes to boost the consumers to purchase goods and services, to have money and use that money and spend that money. Okay, for that government reduces taxes. So that is what counter-cyclical fiscal policy. Government acting against the economic circumstances and supporting the economy and recovering it from a recession. Okay, supporting it to recover from recession. That is counter-cyclical fiscal policy. What is pro-cyclical fiscal policy? When during a recessionary time, there is no spending and government also not spending. Okay, and there is no investment, little investment, and government also is not taking any investment and keeping their money in their hands and increasing taxes. Okay, government acting according to the economic condition. And also in boom period, in pro-cyclical fiscal policy, what government do? Normally in boom period, there will be increased economic activities, increased spending, increased investment, increased demand. Government also working like the economy, like government increasing their spending, increasing their investment, increasing their demand, even in expansionary time. That's what pro-cyclical fiscal policy. Okay. In recession time, when government adopting pro-cyclical fiscal policy, what they do? Opposite. That when there is decreased demand in recession time, government also not purchasing goods and services, government not spending money in the economy. Actually, pro-cyclical fiscal policy is counterproductive. They exaggerate the situation. Okay, it will increase the crisis happening in the economy. When there is when in expansionary time, government when a government adopted a pro-cyclical fiscal policy, it will further accentuate the demand. And what happened when demand gone out of control? Inflation grow, and that will affect the economy to go down. Okay, so pro-cyclical fiscal policy is not the policy that government need to adopt. Government or all the governments in the world have to adopt counter-cyclical fiscal policy which facilitate and support the economy and help the economy from recovering from recessionary times and crisis time. Okay, so first statement. In pro-cyclical fiscal policy, government reduces public spending or increases during expansionary time. Actually, that is false. In pro-cyclical fiscal policy, government not reduce public spending during expansionary time, government increase public spending during expansionary time, and not increase taxes, but government what do? Government reduce taxes when government adopting a pro-cyclical fiscal policy during expansionary time. Okay, so first statement is wrong. Then in a counter-cyclical fiscal policy, government increases public spending or reduces taxes during recession. Okay, that is correct. In counter-cyclical fiscal policy during recession, government increases public spending and reduces taxes. So the second statement is correct. Then you can eliminate option B and C and remain with A and D. Third statement, counter cyclical fiscal policy decreases fluctuations in the business cycle. Again, that is also correct. Counter cyclical fiscal policy decreases fluctuations in the business cycle. So the answer is option A, 2 and 3 only. Thank you.